if you want to empower such people, there are basic trainings you give them. There are this mentorship you take. Okay, if you just watch Newsline on Sunday, there's this young man that's the nail cutter. He's a nail cutter. He just cuts people's nails. And what does he do? He said he wants to become a medical doctor.
The way he said nail cutter, I think so somebody with pedicure.
No. Nail cutter. No, it's not pedicure. Nail cutter. Pedicure. No, hold on, sir. Hold on. I know why I said nail cutter. The pedicure people you are talking about have some professional
kids.
Okay,
I get
the usual.
I think the difference is with the equipment.
Yes.
And then the professionalism as well.
No, the usual aboki nail cutter.
It's
aboki nail cutter.
Very good.
Now,
he
just but you know what makes his own a decent job? Now, I don't know who taught him or how he came about that inspiration. He bought a fixed 8 bus. He has spirits.
He has upgraded.
He has all the necessary things he needs in that bus. When he's coming to work, he will wear suits and wear tie. Now, if you call him to cut your nail, he will wear his lab coats and wear gloves.
Okay, so that one is packaging.
You're not.
He has actually upgraded from aboki nail cutter.
Now, that young man may have done that based on education and knowledge.
Of course.
Do you understand? That same trade, other persons are doing it and struggling. And when he was asked, he said he makes minimum of 10,000 naira every day.
That's what we call branding.
And now, he's not educated, but someone has enlightened him. He understands, like you call it, packaging.
Yes.
He understands there's this branding. He understands all these things are entrepreneurial issues around. Now he understands it and he does better. Another good example is there's a lady in Onitsha. I heard of her story recently. She sells fabrics. She stopped in primary 3 thereabouts, and she used to sell fabrics. But at a point, she went to learn a skill in ICT, graphics, and she just learned Canva. So what was she doing? She would come on Canva, she would design female clothes, different design and color combinations and all that.
Lovely.
And she would go online with the help of someone, and they discovered that in the United States of America, there are these women, Nigerian women, who are based there, who have interest in some of these kind of fabrics. She will do the design, send to them, they will make requests, she will take it to the tailors in Onitsha, and they will make. Gradually, she built up her own sewing company.
That's interesting.
And today, by the time I had, the prof who was giving us this instance, who knew her one-on-one, said as at that time, her annual returns was over 60 million naira.
Excellent.
So now, that same person, that same job has become decent because there are deliberate steps taken. So now, what are we doing in our foundation? We are trying to see how we make these young people, persons with disability, understand that what they are doing can become dignified. That there are skills, there are strategic positionings they must adopt to do what they are doing. Take for instance, plumbing. Sometimes people look at artisans as people who don't really have value.
They are rich.
But with strategic positioning,
they are rich.
And trainings, they understand, like you call it, packaging. They understand what to do. They understand the expertise. They understand that they are not just working for the sake of working, but they have their own job, and they are supposed to not just be employers of labor.
Mr. Marcus,
Yes.
I just had to cut in this artisan, something you talked about now. You know, I just want to bring us back to the Igbo apprenticeship system, right?
Yeah.
Where, of course, Unwa boy,
you
bring someone and the person learns his skill of the trade for 5 to 10 years or whatever, and then you settle the person. I think that is gradually dying because talking about these artisans now, to get a good electrician now is a problem. Because nobody, with the whole quick money syndrome, nobody is willing to come and learn anything. Get a good electrician, get a good plumber, get a good okay, now why are POPs falling everywhere? People are building houses and their POPs are falling. What is the issue? It's actually difficult to get people that will calm down to learn a skill when they can make quick bucks from content creation and all of this illegal businesses lying around. So that might just be another
on the other hand, you see some of these artisans, I think the professional ones who learned the trade are actually overbooked.
Yes,
so you don't get to see them.
Don't get to see them, and they're the older ones.
Couple of them that I have around me, at least the guys that are around me, I have like 3 artisans around me. None of them have less than three houses around my area.
And they understand the job.
They understand the job.
What are we waiting for now?
See where they deceive ourselves if they find white collar job.
So that's the advocacy. That's the what we do. Take for instance, I have so many stories around that area, other such things. We've been able to train some persons in skills, so many skills, and I can tell you most of them are doing well. Now the truth of the matter is that the problem we have seen in our society, and that's why we keep trying to see what we can do with our foundation, is that most young persons, mostly graduates, thinks that going to university is equal to getting a job.
And they're very proud. Very proud.
But it's important to always say that going to university is a platform to equip you to create your own job. That's the point. Because take for instance, there was a time I had an interface with a man a few years back. He had an opportunity to bring to Canada, a formal opportunity to bring to Canada 500 bricklayers, as we call them. People who forgotten the professional, the usual brick mason.
The mold blocks.
Now, it could shock you that he could not find 10. Reason is 90% of those who do the work don't understand the measurements.
So
they just cut the block, fix the block. So they don't understand. But this is also a potential area for those who went to university and studied building.
That's true.
To begin to harness these opportunities,
Mr. Marcus,
and begin to do things. You understand? And create their own job.
So are you saying that someone that went and studied building engineering or whatever they call it, depending on the university, will now come and start laying blocks?
See the problem? I think that because we haven't treated those professions with dignity.
Now, that's the point.
And abroad it's not like that. These people are certified and they do
they make good money.
In Nigeria, see, okay, in all fairness, right? We invite them to your house to get a job done. They're not exactly well dressed. I'm not saying you should wear suits to go and fix anything, but they're not exactly well dressed. They're not, they're not really smelling nice.
Okay.
Right? That is why you will not necessarily treat the profession with dignity or feel like it's something you should actually consider.
Okay.
You invite some artisan to your house and the atmosphere of the place has changed.
Let me shock you a little.
I don't have shock absorber.
See, let me tell you something. Any job has dignity, depending on who chooses to do the job.
Well, yes.
So the dignity around every job is subject to knowledge. Okay, as a Christian, let me go a bit biblical.
Please feel free.
The Bible says in Genesis 1, is in 26, if he said he made man in our own image, and he said let them have dominion. If you read that scripture, he said let them have dominion over the fishes of the sea, land and all that, and air. You understand? He didn't say over dominion over human beings. And what's the word dominion? Dominion means control. You cannot have control over a trade until you understand the trade.
That's true.
Yes.
And so our artisans, the few that you see who are shouting everywhere there is no work, is because they are not masters in their game.
They're not masters, that's true.
There are so many artisans who are in Nigeria today who are successful, who are not wishing to go abroad.
Yes, no.
Who are not wishing to go abroad, who are doing their work skillfully. So that's the work we are doing at our foundation. To begin to make these people understand that that which you're doing, you can always do it better. You can restructure it. So, and you know, mindset is critical here. Yes, sir.
Sorry.
I think it's a thing of pride on the part of Nigerian graduates, right?
Not a thing of pride. Lack of knowledge and understanding.
Yeah, lack of knowledge, and that is what gives birth to that pride. Because you think that when you are done with university, you probably gonna sack one C1, BSc.
So you see, when you blend the graduates, you also need to look at the institution.
The system.
So when I was in school, and our lecturers will be lecturing, and the examples they'll be giving you is CBN, giving you example of NPC. So something is happening to your mentality.
Mr. George, and if you don't study hard, you end up being a bricklayer.
Do you get? So exactly.
You be a bricklayer.
Do you understand?
I think that orientation.
So orientation,
also
the kind of mindset we form when we're in school, and that is also
and from family too.
So that's family from also the lecturer says family. So society generally, you look down certain
profession
simply because you think that they are dirty. What stops a mechanical engineering graduate from setting up a mechanic workshop?
You people are just emphasizing the fact that in our foundation we have much more work to do.
Yes.
So there's an example that comes to mind. There's a young man in Nigeria who was working with a bank, and he was advised. I don't want to call names. It's a popular day. He was advised to go and learn plumbing, and his wife said no. But the wife had to go and report the person to another person that he's telling my husband to leave banking and go and become plumber. The man insisted and told the young man, go and learn plumbing, but learn it from this institution.
Okay.
Get it well. Understand these measurements, the technicalities around it, learn it. And the young man continued. So he would go to work. Sometime at a point he resigned doing plumbing. Now, an opportunity came. He traveled abroad. While he was working in the bank in Nigeria, he was paid a little less to 80,000 naira. Currently,
as a banker?
Yes. Then, while he was in Nigeria, he was paid a little less to 80, about 70-something thousand as at then. But when he left Nigeria, I think went to Poland and got another job as a plumber. Now, as at the time this story came out, he was making no less than 400,000 per week or so.
Imagine.
And
that was a
making
lot of money.
Millions in a month. And his story is that he does not have time for himself. That now, let me also tell you, there's another lawyer, a Nigerian lawyer, who has PhD in law. But he's a barber.
Abi?
For fun, Abi?
Not for fun.
For money.
A full-time professional barber.
In Nigeria?
Yes. They fly him. Someone I know flew him into Abuja to come and barb him. As at the day I was talking with him, you know, because of the work we do, we meet such persons.
No, there's no Baba in Abuja.
No, hold on.
Baba today.
No, listen. Whatever you do, there's what you call the touch of excellence.
Yes.
No, someone relate.
Someone flew him to this. I'm not telling you true life. I can't remember exactly his name. I would have.
Oh my God.
For public notice, called his name. Someone flew him to Enugu to barb him. And his friend, the man's friend, was asking his friend, are you crazy?
That would be my question.
How will you fly somebody to come and barb you? He told his friend, sit down and watch. His friend, by the time he finished babbing him, he told his friend, let him bab you. By the time he babbed him, that his friend too started flying him to come and bab him.
Interesting.
I'm telling you a true life story.
Mr. George, can you?
Yeah, I mean,
A certain rich
I'm
man.
for excellent service.
A certain rich man flew him to Kenya. He had a conference, and that conference was supposed to be for a week. He said he would need to barb his hair again before the end of the conference.
So he's staying.
So he took him to Kenya. The man stayed back in Kenya for more than 1 month. He kept him in Kenya, paying his bills.
Where can I learn how to barb hair, please?
He was, when I met him, was a few months to the Russian-Ukraine war. Because he's based in Ukraine.
Okay.
His family is in Ukraine. He's a Nigerian from Akwa Ibom.
Sorry, Mr. Marcus, let's come back to decent job.
Yeah.
I know we have deviated talking about this thing.
Yeah, and we're actually gradually winding down.
What are the gaps you have seen around policies and laws, governing decent jobs in Nigeria, and how can we fix it? What would be your recommendation?
The thing is, like, there are so many policies that can facilitate inclusive decent job creation in Nigeria today.
Okay.
But the challenge is that young people are always pessimistic about issues of government, and they will just have this mindset of them versus us, us versus them. And sometimes,
so is it their fault?
Is it a mindset or reality?
It's a mindset, because the truth is this. I developed a formula that I call YSP square, because I understood it. Every successful business I've ever known in the world, and there's something I know they do. They all work. That's W. They all maintain their integrity. Yes. And they have what I call strategic relationship. They don't joke with their relationships.
Yes.
And they do what I call excellence.
Wise.
That's trying to make it better than it was.
Yeah.
Then the P that I also saw is that every well-established, both public, private, corporate institution in the world today are interested in government policies.
That's true.
They want to monitor government policies. And the other thing, whether Christian, Muslim, they are religious, they all pray.
Yeah.
So now, the missing link for most young entrepreneurs in Nigeria is that they don't understand government policy. And the fact is that if you don't understand what a policy is saying about a certain sector where you want to venture into, you're easily duped. Sometimes even the government, the tax officials will come and destroy your business because you're already violating things. So the first thing that should be done is that even the existing policies, can more awareness be made?
Yeah.
Can people begin to understand that these policies exist? And sometimes some of these policies are even amended without the inputs of the persons, the actual beneficiaries. Can government begin to engage platforms like the National Dialogue on Decent Job Creation to interact with the beneficiaries of this policy, understand why it is so? Then can government's the orientation of making more money, taxation, be turned to creating more jobs? Take, for instance, one policy that is trending that most businesses don't understand is the new tax law.
The tax law, yeah.
The new tax law has a version of it that says if your business is less than 50 million naira turnover per annum, you don't pay tax. That's good, right? But I can tell you that 80% of small businesses will pay tax.
Because they're not aware.
Not that because one, they are not aware, principally because they're not aware. But do you know what that law says? It says companies, do you understand?
Yeah.
That are having lower than 50 million naira turnover. Now, 80% of small businesses in Nigeria are just business names.
Business names.
They are not companies.
Not companies. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
They are business names. So now, as a business name, you are like an individual.
Yeah.
So every tax an individual should pay, you pay.
So, Mr. Marcus,
So you see that it's not facilitating decent job creation. But if awareness is created and opportunities are given to these persons, they can begin to think of how to upgrade their companies.
That's true.
So
they can
before you go to
benefit
that
from
rounding
this.
up, as like I can't round up.
yes, actually.
You know, we're talking this decent work we're talking about.
Yeah.
Decent job. Civil service. Is it decent job? Looking at the economy.
Looking at the minimum wage.
Yeah, of course, minimum wage, the economy, the price of goods in the market,
how about the
transport.
advocate for a particular minimum wage for private sector employers? So we can put a figure to this decent job.
So I'm asking you two questions now, so I can just respond at once.
Okay.
So is civil service a decent job? Number two, should there be disability allowance?
Disability allowance. Yes. The last question you said, there should be disability allowance, because one thing I tell every employer, if you don't understand that the greatness of your business sometimes lies in employing a person with disability, because persons with disability have special abilities that may be lacking in your system. It is persons, their intuitions, their thinking, everything about them could be supernatural. So, and they should be paid specially for bringing expertise that those who say they are normal. For me now, for instance, most times when I go for meetings, there are things everybody will be saying and they are distracted because I am not seeing anybody.
I'm focused.
I'm focused.
Yeah.
So I could bring a new dimension to the table. So there should be allowances for that.
This you have said. Let me just confirm what you have said. The MD of 2024, that's Engineer Ifan Oputa, have said this thing like this because he has been employing persons with disabilities and testimony about persons with disabilities who are employees.
But beyond being employees, actually, I mean, in some other parts of the world, persons with disabilities are actually paid disability allowance.
So
and I think it should be standardized in Nigeria.
It should be a welcome thing, because it will also encourage the persons with disability. Now, is civil service a decent job?
It's a tricky question. It's a tricky question.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Going by the economic realities of Nigeria today, civil service is not a decent job.
Okay.
But going by the structure and the system of civil service is a decent job. And I explain. Like we said, any job that gives you dignity and gives you opportunity for self-improvement and improvement in your livelihood is decent.
Yeah.
Now, this civil service, beyond the take-home, that does not really take anybody home, they have opportunities for skills and capacity building.
That's true.
Their rights are maintained compared to those of us in the MSME space. They have several opportunities that the government guarantees for them, things like leave allowance and all that and all
13th
that.
month.
The 13th, so they have that, some opportunities. But when it comes to the figures, the figures they have does not really meet their needs. So it also makes it an indecent job. I think
so it's both decent and
because considering that they get rice and groundnut oil during
Christmas,
Easter, Christmas, Salah. It's kind of decent too. If you get that kind of rice,
That's
one No. Getting rice and getting that does not make it decent. When we say a job is decent, take for instance, when you get on the job, there are opportunities to learn, relearn, and learn again. Do you understand? So now, is it a job that allows you the opportunities that comes with such a job? You understand? There are jobs that comes with some opportunity, like traveling opportunity, exposure. It gives you such things. Now, those are things that when you put together, it becomes decent. Now, when you also want to classify a job based on the amount paid, it's always a relative issue. Because, for instance, a person is paid 200,000. Maybe two persons are paid 200,000. This person's needs is met with 100,000. so he's fine. This other person's needs and wants, 200,000 cannot meet.
You have had wants to eat.
So whose fault is it?
Nah, needs, that's why I said needs and wants are not cannot be met with 200,000. Now that person who is not able to separate his needs from his wants comes up to shout or to bring circumstances that says, I don't have a decent job. But the underlying factor about finance, because money is never enough.
True.
But can he meet your needs?
Basic needs.
Depends on the money.
Depends.
Okay. So
Can he
Mr.
meet your
Marcus,
needs per time?
I want to ask, based on this, based on disability allowance you guys had earlier mentioned, I want to ask a rhetorical question. Maybe we should all think about it, right? If you advocate for disability allowance, how do you check our business? How are you sure that people will not wake up one morning and just remove one finger and say I'm a person with disability just to? How do you check our business?
No,
Don't respond. Don't respond. We're out of time. Don't respond. So my final question
Disability
to you is,
certificate.
you should do something to yourself and go get a certificate.
Okay, so cut your leg and go and collect certificate. That's your business.
So then,
Yeah.
my final question to you is this, before we just call it a day. You mentioned something about policy. Of course, we have policies. I always say that Nigeria is rich in policy, but the problem is implementation. And that's because some of these documents are bulky. People don't get to read them. You know what the reading culture is and the attention span.
Yeah.
But let me quickly mention that does this, I don't know if you saw that on LinkedIn, a UN report saying that people hardly read reports. I don't know, a certain percentage of people are only people that get to download, or I don't know if you saw that, right?
Yeah.
And then we had a report from CBN as well saying that nobody downloads the financial report also.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a problem of reading in Nigeria
It's
already.
complicated.
There's a problem of reading. So this, for me, I feel like these policies, maybe if we have a certain communication department that will just break it down into infographics in a way that maybe having video explainers, TikTok is the thing. Have it on TikTok, have video explainers, have infographics to communicate some of these things, just so that people will quickly understand it. Because if you say policy, we have a lot to read. There are plenty policies.
Yeah. Like, let me quickly just answer you. Like I said, we launched a campaign on decent job creation as a social right. And one of the things we are doing is reaching out to some of these institutions and saying, what are those policies that facilitate inclusive job creation in your agency? Can we have them? So when they give us, we'll try and, like, for instance, the new tax act that I just talked about, we're already highlighting some of the things. And some of these things, we'll do videos, we'll do short clips, we'll do reels on Facebook,
people,
such things that, because the truth of the matter is that most persons don't understand some of these things, some of these little complexities here and there. And some of those policies are not well, people are not so much aware about them. And what really happens is that even those in the public sector, if the policy is beneficial, they reach out to their own brothers and sisters.
Exactly.
And just tell them, this thing is on board, do this and do this. So you find out that the wrong persons get access to it, and those who actually need don't really have. So that makes our job cut out for us. And I just wish we could have the enough support and the fundings that we need to ensure that we'll bring some of this information to the doorsteps of those who need them. And because we know that, like I tell people, funding in Nigeria is not the problem of MSMEs. It may sound obvious. Funding is one of the problems, but not the major problem. Because most times, some persons have funds. Some persons even have sources of funding. They don't understand what it takes to sustain their business. I give you an example. Someone met a rich man, asked for funding to open a dry cleaning firm. So the man gave him the money. But a few days later, the man told me about it. I said, have you given him? He said, yes. I said, you shouldn't have given him. He looked at me and said, why? I said, no, you shouldn't have given him. There are basic things you should have done. Now, that place is opening that thing. What's the AMAC law around such environments? Has he found out the environmental people, when they come, what did they ask for? Those basic. And now when you give him money, he will be rushing to do the business. And unfortunately, 6 months later, he packed up. Because one of the days, the tax masters came and he didn't have what it takes. And in fact, they came for what would have cost him more than 5,000 naira to get. And because he didn't even know how to go about it, at the end of the day, he had some altercations, and one thing led to one thing. His machine was moved, and you understand such things. So now, did the person actually need funding to start? No. But you need funding to grow. So can we begin to make them understand some of these policies that can enable them either start, grow, or sustain their businesses, and that will help.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Marcus. So one final question for the road. When you're not advocating for decent job creation, what do you do to relax?
I don't have the leisure of reading books. So what I do to relax is I listen to, most times, there are people I follow online. I listen to their podcasts, their YouTube channels.
But there are audio books.
I also listen to audio books. And sometimes
You don't watch movies?
I don't have the fortune of my wife helps me watch movie
Because I've had persons with visual impairment that say they love watching movies.
No, in my own instance, I've not really been a movie person.
Oh,
I've
okay.
always
That's
been a
understandable.
reading person. But if a movie is going on and my wife is there, I think I'm also watching because she tells me everything that happens.
So, Mr. George, any last words from you to our audience?
Yeah, so my last word will be, honestly, I think
I'm so Nigerian. When I said that last word, it sounded somehow. Please, it's not your last word in Jesus' name. So please, for the podcast, final words for the podcast.
Yeah, for the podcast.
So it's actually very important, especially for persons with disabilities, not to just capitalize on their disability, but look at what they need to do to improve their lives, what they need to do their own work first. It's not all about government, and what people are not doing for us. It's not always about discrimination, stigma, and all of that.
Yeah.
It's also about what are you doing yourself as a person with disability to improve your life, to make your life better. What are you doing such that you are prepared for opportunities when they come? So it's not all about shouting. So, be prepared so that when opportunity comes, you are ready for those opportunities. And then, of course, for everyone who may not be a person with disability, please, persons with disability are also human beings. The only thing is that they have disability. So we're all human. So respect persons with disabilities and don't exploit them. Don't take advantage of them when they come looking for a job. I've had a story of someone who is a person with disability and was working in a private organization. And then, the colleagues keep saying, they are doing you a favor. So that can be that can affect them.
Very demoralizing.
So that cannot be called decent job, right?
Yes. No, the company does not have a safeguard policy. Because that's a kind of harassment and discrimination.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. George. Mr. Kilangs.
Okay, so the final word from me, and I think this is what I picked today.
Final word for this podcast.
Is that you actually don't need money to start. You need money to grow and perhaps to sustain your business. And what I picked is that for your basic registration, what you need to do, you might not need a lot of capital to start.
Yes.
Your CAC registration, you don't need capital to start. Your licenses from the local government, you don't need huge capital to start. But when you have put all those things in place, then you need capital to grow. And need the capital to sustain your business. So don't say because of capital, you are not going to be an entrepreneur. Go out there and be an entrepreneur. And for persons with disability, please, there is something for you out there to do. Go out there and do it. Thank you
very much. Mr. Marcus, do you have something else to say? Last one.
For this podcast?
For this podcast?
Okay, for this podcast. It's important for us to understand that every man or woman that God has created has something unique. It's also important to emphasize that for every challenge, there's an opportunity in it. Let's stop running away from the challenges and begin to seek for the opportunities. For persons with disability, harness your talents. Find out the ability in you. Repackage it, rebrand it. It can become a source of livelihood for you. And not be in that pit that makes people pity you. So for everyone, it's always interesting to be a person of impact. Make impact and your life will change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Marcus.
Yeah.
I think for this particular episode, my key takeaway is embedded in what Mr. Eberechi said earlier, and that is excellent service. So as a person with disability, if you find yourself in a corporate environment, or even if as an artisan, you should deliver excellent service, because it's going to give people maybe give people unforgettable experiences because they dealt with you. That way, people want to keep you. People want to spend some more just to keep you, just to have you in their space, even if you're a person with disability. That extra cost will not come to them as extra cost anymore, because you deliver excellent service.
I can see that you want to go for to learn barbing. I have a plug.
Yes, do you understand? I don't. He's going to hook me up to that person. I have to shake hands with him. Let him transfer the
anointing. And the skills, please.
And who will learn bricklaying?
Him.
Okay, Mr. George.
No, I may not be able to do bricklaying, because I'm an amputee. Maybe Kilanko will do that.
Both plumbing and bricklaying, I'm ready to learn. And also barbing.
Oh my God! Thank you very much for being a part of this episode. Like we are glad that you've been viewing, but not necessarily sufficiently. And most importantly, have you subscribed to this
Podcast channel?
Like TAF Africa TV? Why have you not subscribed?
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
What is delaying?
What is keeping
What
you?
are you waiting for?
Subscription is free. Just hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, your enemies, your well-wishers, your family. Like, it's very important that you share, because this disability inclusion is not just for us, it's for everybody. Because what it takes to be a person with disability is just you step out on the road.
Just a blink of an eye.
It can't hit you. You don't deal.
It don't happen.
So that is why we need you to subscribe, lend your voice to this advocacy for disability inclusion in Nigeria. And if there's any aspect of this topic you want us to explore, or you want us to discuss another topic regarding disability inclusion, please, we have the comment section right there. Drop your questions, drop your comments, drop your preferred topic. We're willing to explore it. Until next time, thank you very much.